Alright, some things you will need for this project. Some yarn. So let's say 260 meters of DK or light worsted yarn. $4mm crochet hook, a button, scissors, and at least one tapestry needle to put your button on. I used a second, like a bigger one, to weave in my ends. And I have a cooing baby in the background, so sorry if you hear a baby. Alright, we'll do a chain of 27. Alright, and then we will do single crochet across. And just single crochet all the way to the end, and you'll end up with 26 single crochets. Okay, and then chain 4 and turn, and then 2 double crochets in the next stitch. So 1, 2, and then double crochet in the next 4 stitches. And then in the next stitch all together, this is what's going to create the curve of the shoulders. 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet. So all of that into one stitch. So 2 double crochet, chain 1, and then 2 double crochet. And then double crochet into the next 12 stitches. Okay. And then again, to make the curve of the shoulder, in the next stitch we'll do 2 double crochet, chain 1, and 2 double crochet. And then double crochet in the next 4 stitches. And then 2 double crochet into the next stitch. And then chain 1, and then double crochet into the last stitch in the row. And then next we'll chain 4 again and turn into the next chain space. So that was created by the chain 1. So instead of working into the actual like stitch, we just work into the space below it. So we'll do 2 double crochet into that chain space. 1, 2, and then we'll double crochet into the next 8 stitches. And then similar to what we did in the last row, we're gonna do 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet, but we're gonna work it into that chain space. So 1, 2, and then chain 1, and then 1, 2. And again, this is what's going to create the curve around the shoulder. And then we'll double crochet into the next 16 stitches. Or really you're just double crocheting up until you get to that chain space again. Okay, and again in this chain space we'll do the same thing. The 2 double crochet, a chain 1, and then 2 double crochet, all in the chain space. So 1, 2, chain 1, 1, 2, and then we'll double crochet into the next 8 stitches. So into this chain space, basically, to the very end of it, we'll do 2 double crochet, and then a chain 1, and then 1 double crochet. So 1, 2, chain 1, and then double crochet. And then again we'll chain 4 and turn. 4 and turn. We'll do 2 double crochet into this chain space. And then we'll double crochet up until the next chain space. Okay, and we're at the chain space, where again we'll do just like we did in the previous row. We'll do 2 double crochet, chain 1, and 2 double crochet. Two, chain 1, 1. And then we'll do double crochets into the next stitches up until we get to the next chain space. And then into this chain space we'll do 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet. And then we will double crochet into the next 12 stitches. Okay, and then into this chain space we'll do 2 double crochet, chain 1, and then 1 double crochet. And then we'll chain 4 again and turn. 3, 4, and turn. And then into the first chain 1 space we do 2 double crochets. 1, 2, and then we'll double crochet up until we get to the next chain 1 space. And now we're at the next chain 1 space, and then just like we did the previous rows, we'll do 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet, all in that chain space. And then we will double crochet across up until we get to the next chain space. Now we're at the next chain space, where again we'll do 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet, all in that chain space. Okay, and then we'll double crochet until the end. So up until this chain 4 space. Now we're at the chain 4 space at the very end. And in that space we'll do 2 double crochet, chain 1, and then 1 double crochet. And then we'll chain 4 and turn. And now we're on to row 6. And we'll start just like we did on the last row. We have this first chain space here. We'll do 2 double crochets. One, 2. Next we'll do double crochets across until we get to the next chain space. Now we're at the next chain space, just where we'll do just like we've been doing at the corner. 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, all in that chain space. And then we double crochet across until we get to the next chain space. Now we're at that next chain space. And we'll do just like we've been doing, 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet, all into that chain space. 2. And then we'll double crochet until we get to the end, and then we'll do 2 double crochet, chain 1, and then 1 double crochet. And then we'll chain 4 and turn. 4 and turn. Into the first chain space, we'll do 2 double crochet. And then we'll do double crochets across until we get to the first chain space. And now we'll do just like we've been doing for the corner. We do 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. And then we'll double crochet across again until we get to the next chain space. We double crochet until we got to the next chain 1 space. And now into that chain space, once again, we'll do 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet. We'll double crochet until we get to the very end, so until we get to that chain 4 space. And then we do into this chain 4 space, we do 2 double crochet, chain 1, and then 1 double crochet. And then we chain 4 and turn. Into this first chain 1 space, we do 2 double crochets. And then we double crochet across until we get to the next chain space. And now we're at chain 1 space, and in that chain 1 space, just like we've been doing, we do 2 double crochet, chain 1, and 2 double crochet all in that chain space. And then we'll double crochet across, and now we are at that chain space. And just like we've been doing, we'll do again 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet, all in that chain 1 space. Okay, and then we'll double crochet across until we get to the very end. So we double crocheted across until we got to the end where the chain 4 space is. And just like we've been doing at the end of each row, we do 2 double crochet, chain 1, and then 1 double crochet. And instead of doing chain 4, we'll be done with this part. So just chain 1 and fasten off, or however you fasten off. So you can see this is kind of how it's going to go. we fastened off the end here, and now what we'll do is just flip this. So we'll work single crochet. So we'll insert our hook here. I'm gonna insert my first single crochet here, and then I'm gonna do 2 single crochets into each chain space, and then I'll do 1 more single crochet at the corner here. As long as you have 16 single crochets across this diagonal edge here. And then I'll do 1 more into this, just wherever into this corner, just to make a total of 16 single crochets. Slightly turn your work to the next edge, and into that first chain space we'll do 1 single crochet. And then we'll do a chain 4, and so this is we're creating the armhole here. So chain 4, and then basically skip that whole edge, and then the next, so chain 4, skip this whole edge, and then you'll do a single crochet into this chain 1 space. So we did our chain 4 and single crochet into that chain space, and then we'll single crochet across until we get to the next chain 1 space here. We single crocheted until we got to the next chain 1 space, and then we'll single crochet into that chain 1 space, and then fold our work to create the armhole. Before we connect it, we will chain 4. So after we single crocheted into that chain 1 space, we'll chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we will skip this whole edge and single crochet into this chain space. So we single crocheted into that edge or corner, and now we'll work across this front, so this diagonal edge, just like we did over here. Okay, and then same as the other side, we'll do 16 single crochets total across. So it should have 15 so far, and then we'll do 1 more into this corner. So that's 16 total across that diagonal edge. And then we will chain 1 and turn. Okay, so now we're looking at the front of it. And then we're just going to single crochet across, like along this whole edge. So technically, so it'll be 16 plus 1, that chain 1 space single crochet that we did. So really 17, and then 4 around the chain space, and then 40 2, and then 4 around the chain 4 space, and then 17. And 17. And then we'll do 4 single crochets into this chain 4 space. So we'll just go around it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll go across the back side here. We did 42 single crochets across the back, and now we're at that chain 4 space. Okay, so we'll do 4 single crochets around that chain 4 space. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll single crochet across the other front here, so it ends up being 17 single crochets across this edge. So we'll chain 1 and turn. Okay, and then we're gonna do front post single crochet around each single crochet. Okay, so it's kind of hard to see, but you'll insert your hook. So you'll insert it behind. So 1, 2, and you'll just do that all the way until you get to the end. Okay, so we did front post single crochets all the way around, and what that's going to do is create this nice little line, and that'll be on the front of the sweater. So right now we have it inside out, and then chain 1 and turn, and now we'll do 23 double crochets. And after 23 double crochets into the next 38 stitches, we'll do 2 double crochet in each stitch. And now that we've done a total of 76 double crochets, so 2 double crochet into each stitch for 38 stitches, we should have 23 stitches left to work into, and we'll just double crochet into each one, so like we did at the beginning of this row. Okay, after 23 double crochets, we're going to do 1 more double crochet at the end here. So if you have a place to put it that you can make a loop, do that, or just do 1 more into the same stitch you just worked into. And that's because we need an odd number of stitches. And after the double crochets, we will chain 1 and then single crochet all the way around. Okay, after the single crochet row, we're gonna do the first row of star stitches. It'll take 2 rows to complete the stars. So we're gonna chain 3 and turn, So into the second chain from the hook, you're going to insert your hook and then yarn over, pull through. And then into the next chain, so the third chain from the hook, you'll insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, and then into the first stitch of the row, you can insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, and then into the next 2 stitches, insert, yarn over, pull through, and then in the next stitch, insert, yarn over, pull through. So you should have 6 loops on your hook, and then yarn over, pull through all 6, and then chain 1 to close it. And now we're going to insert into the eye of the star, so the center of the star, and then yarn over, pull through, and then we're going to insert our hook in between the 2 spikes at the end of the star here. So right between those spikes, insert, yarn over, pull through. Now should have 3 loops on your hook, and then the stitch that the last spike is in, you're going to insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, should have 4 loops, and then in the next 2 stitches, insert, yarn over, pull through, insert, yarn over, pull through. Should have 6 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 6, and then chain 1 to close. And we'll do that again. Basically, we'll do that all the way down until we get to the end. I'll show you one more time. So insert into the center or eye of the star, yarn over, pull through, and then in between the 2 spikes, insert, yarn over, pull through, and then into the stitch that the last spike is worked into, insert, pull through, and then into the next 2 stitches, insert, yarn over, pull through, and then insert, yarn over, pull through. Should have 6 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through all 6, and then chain 1 to close. Alright, we did star stitches all the way across, and now I have 2 stitches left. So I can do one more star stitch. And then into the last stitch, so the last stitch that we worked into, we'll do a half double to close off the row. And then chain 1 and turn. And then we'll be working 2 half double crochets into each eye or center of the star. So this row is going to be the top half of our stars. And we'll do that all the way until we get to the end. And then to finish off this row and make it cleaner, I guess, we'll do one more half double but into this end stitch, so the last stitch of the bottom star. Half double, and then we'll chain 3 and do that all over again. So we'll do what we did on the last 2 rows. So we did our half doubles all the way down. And I have one more I to work into. So 1 half double, 2 half double, and then a half double at the end. And then a chain 1 and turn. And now we're going to do the frill on the bottom. Because this is as many star rows that I'm going to do, but you can do more if you want. I did a total of 4, which was technically a total of 8 rows. But you can make it longer if you want. Okay, so we chained 1 and turned, and then single crochet into that first stitch, and then 2 double crochets into the next stitch, and then slip stitch into the next stitch, and then 2 double crochets into the next one, and then a slip stitch into the next stitch. So we'll do that all the way around. So 2 double crochet, slip stitch, 2 double crochet, slip stitch. Now we're at the end of this row. I just did a slip stitch, and then I have 2 more stitches left in the row. So the next one I'll do 2 double crochets, 2, and then in the last stitch, instead of a slip stitch, we'll do a single crochet, and that's just to make it even with the other side. After the single crochet at the end, instead of fastening off, we're going to just turn our work slightly, and we're gonna work along the collar. So we'll chain 1, and the stitch count is not important as long as it's even. So we're just going to do single crochets around the collar, and then chain 1 and turn, and then a single crochet all the way around until we get to the other corner end, but stop when you have 3 stitches left. Alright, so we have 3 left. We're going to chain 3, but then we're only going to skip 2. And we'll just do a single crochet. And that's to make our buttonhole. And then we're going to chain 1 and turn, and we'll do 1 more row of single crochet. However, we're going to, so 1 single crochet into that single crochet that we made, and then we're going to do 2 single crochets into that chain space. 1, 2, and then keep working single crochets all the way around, and then we'll fasten off. Alright, we did our collar, and this is how it's looking. Now we will move on to the sleeves, and then really we'll be done, except putting on the button and weaving in our ends. So I'm going to start with the left sleeve. So we'll insert our hook into the bottom of the sleeve. I'm going to do it a little bit more to the back side of the sleeve. So I'm going to do mine there. And then we're going to do 39 single crochets all the way around. All right, after we've done 39 single crochets around, and as long as they're done evenly, you can insert them really wherever you want. We just need 39. Then we'll slip stitch into that chain we had made when we started the row. So we'll just slip stitch and then chain 3 and turn. And next we're going to start the first row of a star stitch row. So just like we had done down here, we will do around the sleeve. Okay, I've just worked my last star of that row, and then we're just going to slip stitch into in between the 2 spikes at the top of the last, or of the first star of the row. So right in there, and we'll just slip stitch, and then chain 1 and turn, and then we'll do the half double row. So 2 half doubles into each eye. I did my last half double of the row, and now we'll slip stitch into that first chain that we had made at the beginning of this row. And then we'll chain 1 and turn, and now we're going to do the frill edge. So we'll slip stitch into the first stitch of the row, and then 2 double crochet in the next stitch, and then slip stitch into the next, 2 double crochet, slip stitch, 2 double crochet in the next, slip stitch in the next. Okay, so we'll do that all the way around. We came to the end, and I just did my last 2 double crochets, and then we'll slip stitch into the beginning of the row, and then fasten off, chain 1, fasten however you fasten off. Okay, and then we're gonna do the same thing on the other sleeve. And in this one, I would again insert to like the basically the back side of the sleeve. So insert the back side of the sleeve, bottom back side. Same thing, 39 single crochets all the way around. Then the star stitch rows, and then our frill edge, just like we did on this side, and then fasten off. You could make the sleeves longer if you want, and you would just do more star stitch rows. Okay. Alright, I've weaved in my ends. And now we're gonna sew the button on. Alright, so just this corner here. Okay, so really just keep looping it through until it feels secure enough, and then just make some knots. Here we are, and then fit our little button through, and we're done. Oh, that is so cute.